We live at the Fire Nights podcast, man, and it's certain moments that you have when you do these things, and I think it's more the moment. These guys came from Woodland, Delaware. Where was you from?
Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him.
Listen, man, it's your boy D-Mac, man. Fire Nights Podcast.
Let me see him. Let me see him.
Yo.
Ah, drop unexpectedly. Drop unexpectedly, man. You know, it's the Fire Nights crew, man. You know, little Wednesday night NBA action, man. What's up to everybody, man? Once again, this is the Fire Nights experience, man. A black culture journey, black culture experience, man. A walk through sports entertainment, current events, whatever it is, man. Let's talk about it, man. Let's discuss about it. Let's discuss it. You know what I mean? It's your boy. It's not Tuesday night, but it's still Coach P. I got my bro with me, man. I got Fresh Fire, man. How you feeling this evening, bro?
I'm feeling lovely, man. I mean, I would feel a little bit more lovely, but the Sixers took it on the chin last night. It's crazy, man. You know, it's hard, man, when you're going up to Boston, man. But when you conjuring up the late great spirits of Bill Russell, man, it's hard to play against that, man. You know, so we took that one on the chin, man. I'm glad we got 81 more to go, man. But I'm so happy we got a ball night tonight. I think everybody in the league is rocking. So let's go.
Yeah, we got some ball games tonight, man. We got some ball games. So listen, man, to everybody watching, man, we just wanted to, bring a little bit more flavor to you, man, a little bit more, frequency, frequency about to go up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So you'll get used to seeing my handsome face and my brethren's handsome face. So, we just wanted to bring some more action to you. So listen, man. Great show last night, man. Great show last night. So piggyback off of that, man. Let's proceed. We got some NBA action tonight, man. A couple of things first before we even, get into all that, man. First thing I want to ask you, man, is with this season coming, who you got your eye on, man? Who you got your eye on? Like your team to watch. Like you got a special eye on them because either you see something great or you just kind of like you just got your eye on them from the standpoint of everybody love them and you think it's gonna fall apart. Besides the obvious, of course, we know what your obvious is, but who you got your eye on?
I actually got my eye on a team that's young. They made it to the playoffs last year. They got a very young, budding, emerging superstar, exciting brand of ball. I want to see how the Memphis Grizzlies, a year later, with the experience of going up and battling with the eventual world champs, which was the Golden State Warriors. I'm actually watching them right now go up against the Knicks. So I want to see if they can take the leap. If the young guys can put that and bank that experience of playing in the playoffs last year, can they, will they move forward? Or was last year just an anomaly? Was that just a whole bunch of young guys playing at an unbelievable level? And are you coming back to earth? With Ja Morant leading them, I would like to think they're going to go forward and take another leap and go another step and be on another level. But they're young. And they have had some critical injuries to some significant players like Jaren Jackson and Dylan Brooks. So I'm really intrigued to see how the Memphis Grizzlies are going to perform this season.
It's weird because it's a notion that and you heard the narrative last year, and through the off season about their record without John Morant, and to me it didn't really mean that much. I mean, the only impact is that of course, a regular season award like the MVP race, it could hurt you, but like by no means don't think this team is better without John Morant. It's easy to be to sustain without your star player over a period of time in a regular season, because for all intent and purposes, you may have in a 10-game stretch, you may only play 3 or 4 teams with winning records. So a lot of that kind of gets lost in that. You know what I mean? So let's take a road trip. You got a road trip, right? You go to Boston, you go to New York, you go to Washington, you go to Orlando. You know what I mean? Out of that road trip, you might go 3-1 or something like that. You lose to Boston, but you beat the rest of those, and it looks a little different than what it actually is until you go into the actual games that they played. And people made a big deal out of that because they had a stretch where they were like 18-5 without him. Yeah, but you got to understand who they played during that time. And it's the regular season. It's one night. You know what I mean? It's not like you locked in with a team throughout a 7-game series and you're playing, a playoff team. That's different. You can't survive without your star player in that situation. So I didn't make too much of that. I didn't think it was a big deal. He just had some good teammates. You got some good teammates around you. It's a good team. It's a good team. They can sustain a period of time. And you got some other options on that team that can step up, while Ja's gone. So I thought that was I didn't make too much of that, man. Team that I'm looking at, man, and I think, man, could do some big things. And they actually beating the brakes off somebody right now. Is the Pelicans, man. I think the Pelicans got the pieces, man. They got defenders, they got young talent, they got now a veteran, man. I love the way they looked at the end of last season, man. And I just think with CJ McCollum finally getting away from Dame Lillard, it could be good for both of them guys. You know what I'm saying? CJ McCollum is going to open up, man. I think he can be like a big time closer for them. Big time closer.
Yes.
Brandon Ingram can continue to flourish because now, you got a guy like that with some veteran leadership, that can carry you through some rough times. And then, of course, man, with Zion, who just literally is a walking X factor. You can't account for him. You don't have to run anything for him. He can kill you off of things like second shot opportunities. He's a quick leaper. It's a lot of things that this guy can do, man. That's like off of the books. You know what I'm saying? He's not a guy that requires having the ball in his hands. He plays well without the ball because, of the lobs and things of that nature. You're setting screens with the guy with him rolling to the basket. So he's a perfect complement to Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum in terms of his talent package. And Jesus Christ, when this kid gets out on a fast break, you already know what that is, man. I think they got good size. They got defensive ability on the perimeter. I like this team. I like this team a lot. And it's not because I'm being a homer for my guys on that team, but I just like that team, man. I like how it's put together right now.
Yeah, I really want to see a healthy Zion Williamson with adequate enough pieces around him. I really want to see how that's going to, work out this year, man. That's really, like you said, that's an anomaly. We don't really know what we're going to get from Zion Williamson. We pretty much expect we're going to get a nice brand of basketball from him. But like you said, you don't really have to run plays for him. So it's just going to look different. And his athleticism, his size, the things that he can do, the players around him. I'm pretty intrigued to see what they're going to be doing out in New Orleans myself.
Yeah, when healthy, he was 27 a game. It's big. He was 27 points a game. He was hitting his stride, and then life happens. That's one thing I'm trying to get out of, and I don't want to do is I'm not making excuses for anyone, whether it be injuries, because it's not like you're the only person that goes through this. Everybody has injuries. It's a part of the game. You know what I mean? But people use a lot of different excuses for failures and things that happen. Man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I look more at, do you have the ability or the propensity to respond to what's going on? You know what I mean? Can you come back from that? Because everybody loses, everybody gets injured, but how are you after that? You know what I mean? The excuses, we can do without those. I'm a big proponent of not using excuses. And not only that, man, you know, the story is in the triumph and the comeback. It's not in excuses, man. It's not in the excuses. It's in the triumph and the comeback, man. We got a barn burner right here, man. The New York Knicks, man, and the Memphis Grizzlies tied up 98-98, man. 2:41 left in the fourth. Jalen Brunson is looking like he's paying dividends right now, man.
Rick Brunson.
This dude, Ja Morant, does some things, man, that you just be like, what the hell? He does some things, man.
That guy, man, and that's what I'm saying. It's very refreshing to see people say, oh, man, you know, better brand of basketball, whatever. I say, nah, basketball is going to pretty much be in good hands because you're going to have people around, you know, it's a standard, you know, pretty much set. And even if it slows down, it's pretty, but we all know which direction it's going. You know,
always in good shape, man.
Morant is one of the people who is driving basketball, like regardless of who else is playing basketball and whatever success and however they're playing it. Ja Morant is definitely a player that you look at like, we haven't seen a player like that in a while that can do things like that from that size.
Well, let me say this. I'm going to say that as an adult, I look at the game different because I remember when we were kids, right? And as a very young kid, you thought, man, I can't get any better than Dr. J. This is crazy. Can't get no better than Dr. J. Like, what? Like, who's going to do this? This is crazy. And then for a period of time, man, you know, you watched him, and then another kid came, and then I can't get no better than Jordan. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, can't get no better than that. What? That's crazy. And then Shaq and Kobe coming. You're like, God damn, what? That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, what? And then LeBron comes, and you're like, God, this is crazy, man. How does it get better? The game is going to evolve. Is ultimately what I'm saying. The game is going to evolve. So, you know, never thought I'd be able to see anybody shoot as dead-eye and back-breaking as Larry Bird. Man, Steph Curry blew that out the window. So with that being said, you know, you got guys like, you know, we've seen similar, you know what I mean? There's some slight nuances and differences, but, you know, Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook kind of was, you know, taking it from Baron Davis as far as this super athletic, different kind of point guard, you know what I mean? Challenging guys at the rim. And, you know, we got to look at the predecessors to that. You got Kevin Johnson, who was challenging centers at the rim with dunks. You know what I mean? Like, nothing's new under the sun. Nothing's new under the sun. The game is going to get better. And like I said, it's funny, I had a conversation with my son, and my new thing is I cannot wait until you're my age and your kids are telling you, man, LeBron James wasn't all that. Ja Morant stinks, man. He wasn't all that, man. Them dudes sucked back then. Man, them dudes ain't like that. I just can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see it.
It's coming.
I cannot wait to see it.
It's coming.
It's coming. It always comes. It always comes because I can imagine how guys older than me felt when, you know, they saw Kareem originally for the first time. You know what I mean? And thinking that, damn, it ain't getting no better than Wilt. But then here comes Kareem. You know what I mean? So it's like it gets better, man. It always gets better. It has no choice. The game has to evolve, man. The game definitely has to evolve. So we got a barn burner, man. We got Memphis up by 4, man. They showing a little bit of moxie. I'm impressed with the Knicks. The Knicks could have folded the tent, man, and ran back through the tunnel, man, and got this one over with. But the Knicks making us a fight. It's 139 left. A lot can happen.
You know, they say they was down, but everybody in the NBA makes a run, man. You know, so
everybody makes a run. Absolutely.
And regardless of what everybody thinks, you know, a player, you know, an individual player can make a difference, but usually a lot of teams, like I always like to say, man, a lot of the teams and a lot of the talent is pretty much evenly matched, you know, so even if you are down, you have a lot of the mechanisms and the talent to bring you back. You know, it's like in the league, it's like, all right, cool, we down 12. Man, we got to get this thing to about 4 or 5.
Go on our run. Let's go on our run. Hey, absolutely. Yeah. Let's go on our run. So let me ask you a question, man. I got another fire matchup for you, man. Another fire nice versus, man. You know, I was thinking last night, and I was like, man, I really like both of these guys, man. Like these is probably two of my favorite point guards ever, man. Chef Curry versus Zeke.
Man, you want to bend my mind. Man, that's the one I struggle with right here today. That's to me, that's probably the biggest all-time struggle.
What's that?
Because right now I got Steph 2A. You feel what I'm saying? I got all time, Magic number 1. But I ain't gonna lie, I flip-flop back and forth between Zeke, Steph Curry.
Now, it's a couple of things it's a couple of ways we can attack this. Number one, you know what I mean, the new movement, in the internet and social media and everything, is to remove accolades from the argument. But I don't think you can do that, because my thing is, when you have players this great, those are the separators. Because this is the argument why, some guys say, well, you remove the accolades because the accolades don't make you a better player. In terms of, if you take away the accolade, it doesn't mean you're a better player than me. It just simply means you won a voted on award. Well, I think there is some truth there, but there's also some more you have to unpack there, because you have to understand that award is voted on, and not everybody can win that award. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to be on that ballot means that enough people feel like, hey, this guy's special and he's performing at this particular level, so we believe that he should be a candidate to win this. Okay, you can now, being objective, you gotta look at that and say, okay, well, yes, people are voting on it, but there's a certain level of excellence that you have to show to get to that. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level of excellence that you have to show to even be on that ballot. You just can't be anybody on that ballot. And I always equate it to a beauty contest, right? Beauty contest has multiple components to it, right? You got the swimsuit, you got the talent competition, lots of different components. You know what I mean? You got the public speaking portion, a lot of different components in the beauty contest. You can't just arbitrarily say, well, you know what? Because my candidate doesn't necessarily look well in a bathing suit, let's take that off the table. That's not really fair. That's not really fair.
Like we can only play the fiddle, so we're not doing the talent portion because we can only play the fiddle. Like,
right?
Why is that fair? It counts. It all counts.
My candidate's a great public speaker, but unfortunately, in the beauty contest, you have to be well-rounded. You have to, and so that's you can't take accolades that players have won off the table, because you're removing excellence. You know what I mean? You're removing excellence. So, okay, if we're just doing that, okay, so now that argument takes us to this. So if we're not doing that, and we're just doing an eye test, who's better? You can't look at it from the standpoint of, okay, just one-on-one basketball, because that doesn't necessarily determine who's better, right?
Right.
So it's just a matter of who the eye test. From an eye test standpoint, let's attack it from that perspective. Or do you want to attack it from because me personally, I don't like to remove accolades off the table. I think when you earn those, you don't take them off the table.
True.
Who's better?
True. To me, I don't know. I guess tonight you would have to say
tomorrow might be a different answer.
I would say this. It's probably 60-40. Give me Steph Curry tonight. And most of the time I lean to it from this perspective. Zeke was great, a great scorer from the point guard position. I've seen him put down like 50, a couple times. It's a couple. Matter of fact, I want to say they was in the highest scoring basketball game ever.
Yeah.
So they was like 180 some odd, 180 some odd.
Was it them in Denver? Was it them in Denver or something like that?
Yeah, it was like everybody.
Them Doug Moe Denver teams.
Yeah, so
you forget how good they were, man. You forget how good those teams were.
They was running in that altitude.
Yeah. And like, you know, a lot of players get lost in that shuffle, man, because, you know, of course the Lakers were so good, but a lot of players get lost in that shuffle, like Mr. Triple Double himself, Fat Lever, Michael Adams. Those guys, man, Kiki Vandaway, dudes get lost, man. Like nobody remembers those guys because, of course, they didn't win a title. But proceed. You know, people forget about them guys, man.
But when I think about Wardell, Stephen Curry, I have to think about. I mean, to me, a lot of their accolades add up. You know, the championships, you got 2. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? It don't necessarily have to add up to the 4.
You're a multiple time champion, you know?
Right. You know, but the really the 2 things that really stick out to me is Zeke has no MVPs, league MVPs. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's a slight.
It'd be interesting to see. I think it would be interesting to see, you know, if he's registered in the top 5, you know, any of those particular years. We got to go back and look at that to see if he was in the top 5 voting, you know, on the ballot for MVP. It'd be interesting to see that.
And secondly, but more importantly, and this is where I really weigh it at most of the times, is Steph Curry is one of the few people that have played NBA basketball that you can say changed basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, there have been some great players out here that play Hall of Fame players, all-time great players. But Stephen Curry has changed the game. You know,
he's probably like I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you because I got Steph Curry, and it's, put it this way, as much respect as I have for Zeke, because Zeke was a ridiculous gamer. You know what I mean? I don't think Zeke scored enough. You know what I mean? I think he was too much pass and you know, because that was the era of the throwback point guard, the pass first point guard. Right. And I think a guy like Zeke playing in this era, holy shit.
He'd be dog.
If he's playing in this time, there's no bigs or anything like that, no real post presence for him to have to, you know, that's the way the game was played back then. So if he plays now with his offensive abilities and his skill set, he was ahead of his time, skill set wise, way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
You put him in the game right now, good Lord.
Dogging these jokers right now, man.
Good Lord. And you get, you know, I know you get some young people probably like, man, he is always think all of them niggas. No, I don't think everybody from back then would be great now. But I do think some guys back then were ahead of their time. Just like some guys right now are ahead of their time right now.
Yeah. It's you know, like I always say, man.
Wow. Big shot, Cam Reddish. He needed that too.
I'm on a delay. I'm
tied up.
Delay. Bucky. Ooh.
Tied up. Wow. We got a dog fight. But listen, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. I got the chef, and it kind of dovetails into something else I wanted to ask you, bro. This era that we playing in right now, man, is this Steph Curry's era?
You know what? I would have to say no.
Okay. Any reasons why?
Really, to me, it's more of LeBron's era.
Okay.
It's more of LeBron's era. But Stephen, I can't say it's Stephen Curry's era, but he changed basketball. You feel what I'm saying? It's almost like, okay, yeah, it ain't your era, but you changed basketball. Those two are equal. You know, yeah, it ain't my era, but everybody plays like me. You know what I'm saying? And you can't argue me. I won't argue you down if you say it is Steph Curry's era. But if you ask me and you asking me and I feel in my gut, I would say it's LeBron's era. But you're not going to tell me that Stephen Curry didn't change the game, and that isn't as significant as it being LeBron's era, how I feel about it.
I think LeBron is the most recognizable player in this particular era, or the best player, so to speak, like the most polarizing player.
Ooh.
But
and one.
I think they might take that off the board, bro.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry, man. It's ball night. My fault. It's ball
They might
night.
take, yeah, they're taking that off the board. That's a great defensive play. They're taking that off the board, cuz. So listen, I'm going to say this. I look at it from the standpoint of so this was a guy who, when he won his first title, contrary to popular belief, because what people would love you to believe is that this has always been a dynasty. You know what I mean? A dynasty has to start somewhere, right?
True.
They went to 2 finals. They weren't a dynasty, bro. You know what I mean? They weren't a dynasty. They went to 2 finals. They were 1-1 against LeBron, right? So they weren't a dynasty. So head to head, he beat LeBron, right?
Yes.
LeBron comes back and beats him, right?
Yes.
The Warriors retool and get 2 more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they suffer some injuries, come back and win another one. So that's 4 on his watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at the game of basketball is being played as influenced by Steph Curry. The game of basketball is going that way, not any other player. This era of basketball is pretty much, I would say, 100% identifiable with the way Steph Curry plays. Now, we can argue, did he shift the game that way, or was the game going that way and he came at the right time, and being the right player literally became the identity of this era? I don't know. That's up for debate. But what I can say is that guy is who everybody plays like.
True.
That guy is who everybody emulates. The game right now, and you know, just like it's almost the same thing about football. You know, it's a copycat league.
Yeah.
So everybody is trying to copy that formula, man. Like shooters. Got to get shooters. That's the way the game is played. His influence and his success has influenced other front offices and other players to try to emulate that. So, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, this is his era, man. Because at the end of the day, he's not done, man. And the way that their front office is gearing up, I could see another one. I could see another one at the bare minimum. I could see another one. I can see another one of them things.
You know what I was kind of thinking? I mean, because to me, look, it's almost like, even though I know LeBron's older and he started before Steph. To me, it's almost like it's 2 different eras. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even though Steph Curry's era came a little later, it's like, nah, but I got even, and I'm not winning. I just won the last chip. And really the last chips that, you know, that people have been winning, it's sort of kind of been, you know, the league has been going my way. Or it's been going to, you know, to my style or whatever. So it's almost like this is his era right now.
Mm-hmm.
So LeBron already having his era. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like,
right. It just depends on where you want to start it. But yeah, I mean,
and that's what I'm saying. And that was what, you know, when you asked, I'm like, I can, because LeBron's still playing,
right?
But I can say it ain't his era anymore. But
okay.
Steph, like, it's more Steph's era now. And that's why I'm saying, like, well, I guess
Steph leading the charge right now,
right? And that's what I said. Maybe let me fix what I said earlier. It's not LeBron's era anymore.
Okay,
it's Steph's
That's
Curry
fair.
era
That's
now.
fair.
I can say that. Yeah,
that's fair. So check it. The new season is upon us, right? So, you know, everybody got a chance. Breakout guy. Who you looking to break out, man? Who's a guy that's going to jump from solid to, oh shit? Who you think that's going to be for you?
Well, it's one guy I'm looking at because it's one of the younger guys. I'm on record saying I'm a little bit more skeptical of some of the younger talent, but there's a guy in Detroit that I'm coming around to now. I want to see what he's going to do. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think you showed me enough to think that you may be one of the leaders of the younger class that just came out. and that's Cade Cunningham.
That's interesting. That's
Cade
interesting that you say that.
I do want to see, because like I said, I'm a little bit more skeptical of the players that have been coming out of college in the drafts of these more recent years. But Cade Cunningham, from when he's played himself into, in my eyes, you know what? Let me give him a little bit more different look with my eye. I want to see what if he can actually live up to the number one. He's shown me enough to at least change my mind to say, all right, I think you can be a guy that can be one of the more successful leaders of the younger school. So I'm looking at Cade Cunningham you know what? I want you to break out. I want you to break out. And I got a keen eye on you breaking out.
I got a guy from that same draft class. My very own Houston Rockets, Jalen Green. I think this guy is going to have a breakout from an offensive standpoint where his numbers are going to jump drastically. He can score in bunches, man. He is of the elite level athleticism wise. That rare, that table only certain guys sitting at, you know what I mean?
Right.
Unlimited range. And the green light in Houston. So I think he's going to take a big jump this year. Big jump. Well, I hope he takes a big jump. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think regardless of, whether it's my team or not, I do think he's in for a big jump. I saw the way he played towards the end of the season. It just seemed like everything slowed down for him. And then I've been peeping him over the summer, and he looks like he's put the work in. You know what I mean? To be a bigger player, a stronger player, a more effective guy, being able to navigate traffic and take the NBA bump. So, we'll see. We'll see. I think he's one of those guys. I think he could be one of those breakout guys for me. I think it'll be the breakout guy. So
also got one more guy that I got an eye on. It's out west. I ain't gonna lie, man. I can't stay up as late as I used to watch all the games, man. But this young gentleman was out in Portland. One of my favorite guys. Dame Lillard was down, and the guy Anthony Simons started putting in mad work out in Portland. When they got rid of CJ McCollum, I actually thought this may be an avenue for them to have a backcourt, or even I can see a tunnel or some light to where the
pieces fit a little better.
Right.
In my opinion. I think CJ and Dame were too similar, but I think he may complement, because the kid, man, he can play that standstill shooter role, or that kick out guy that can knock down threes and bunches for Dame. So I agree with that. I do like Simons. I do like Anthony Simons.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I think he's talented as hell. I think he's very, very, very talented. So yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely would agree with that. He looks like a guy. He looks poised for a big breakout.
Yeah, it seemed like that trade kind of worked out for everybody. You know what I'm saying? CJ McCollum goes somewhere where he can funk out a little bit better. Dame doesn't have a guy there that's, on the level of, you taking the ball from my hands in a certain kind of aspect. But then you give me a guy who's ready to break out and the role is more fitting. Like this, it kind of fits all the way around. I'm actually, man, Dame is my favorite point guard. Him and Steph Curry. I want Dame to come out, put some respect back on his name. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to point to our watches again. You know what I'm saying?
It's always respect on Dame name, but it's like almost to the point where now you had the camera. Now it's kind of like, let's turn the camera somewhere else. It don't mean you're not doing nothing. We just go turn that camera somewhere else. You know what I mean? That's really all that is. You just turn the camera somewhere else. Dame gonna do his thing. Dame too talented not to. It's just, unfortunately, with you not advancing very much in the playoffs, and naturally the attention is going to shift somewhere else, because whereas you're not doing it, somebody else is. So that's just natural. So, Another question I wanted to ask, man. Next topic as far as the NBA, man. Closing windows, man. Closing windows. You know, the NBA, some teams have large windows, some teams have short windows. Whose window is, first and foremost, whose window is closing? Who's got that short window now? Whose window is closing?
Well, I think an obvious one is the Lakers.
Lakers?
Yeah. But I want to go with
For what reason? For what reasons?
Well, I think it's come to the point in LeBron's career to where he's now hitting the stage that I can still put up beans. I can still put up, pretty good numbers, but I may not be the carrying a team type. Anthony Davis, the jury's still out on his health, and if he can carry your team. The way the roster's constructed out in LA, it wasn't really constructed for the long term. So it has no choice but to close down.
Yeah, not too many rosters with LeBron James on it are structured long term because unfortunately, you kind of gut your team when you get them, or he guts the team, or however you want to call it. They kind of gut the team of, a lot of key pieces, man, where it goes into a win now mentality. And if it doesn't win now, then what happens is the players that you got that are in win now mode could very well be like on the backside of that prime and could be on a decline. And I think what you're going to start seeing now from him are more of those sort of hollow numbers where I'll give you an example. Okay. So, you'll start to see him end up games with, 27, 28, 29, 30 points, but the gravity of those points may not affect the game as much. They may be down 19, 20 points, right? And he goes on a run, but because they suck defensively, they can't stop the other team from going on a run. So you're still down. Now, you may have closed the gap by 3. So instead of 19 when you went on a run, y'all down by 16. So he'll rack up those kind of numbers unless they can show more defensive prowess to be able, because offensively, I don't think this team is going to be able to do it offensively because they just don't have the firepower. You know what I mean? They got to be able to clamp down on defense, man. And I think they got the pieces, but I don't think they got the willingness or the mentality to play defense. That's the problem on that team. They're just not a defensive team. You got maybe 1 or 2 guys that want to play defense. Pat Beverly wants to, is a third guy that wants to play defense, but how much can you keep him, Russ, and LeBron on the floor at the same time? That doesn't work. You know what I mean? Anthony Davis, of course, is a defensive guy, but I don't know, man. It just seems like, I don't know. He's not, there's no dog in him, I think. That's what I get. There's no dog in him. So, I don't know. I'll tell you a team I think whose window is closing, man. And for a weird reason. It's the Suns. And I think their window is closing because somebody else on that team has to make a jump. And not only do they have to make a jump, I think it has to be at least 2 guys to see any sort of additional future from them, because Chris Paul is quickly turning into a floor general, like literally like not a guy you can depend on for 20 a game anymore, I don't think.
Nah.
So he's going to go more, but he'll always have a place because he has defensive tenacity. He's a leader, so he's always going to be on the floor. Someone like a Mikal Bridges or a Cam Johnson or DeAndre Ayton, I think they need to make a jump. Between those 3 guys, 2 of those guys have to make a jump. Devin Booker, I think you're going to get what you're going to get from him, and that's that 27, 28 for the next 6 to 7 years from him. He's about to enter his prime. So this is what you're going to get from him. You're not going to see another drastic jump from him to 30 a game, 31 a game or something like that. So it's going to have to be one of those guys that turn into an all-star level performer in order for that team's window to stay open. You know what I mean? Because you're going to lose Chris Paul pretty soon. You're going to lose Chris Paul. He's not going to play there forever. Or you're going to have to think about, putting somebody else in that position. And he's injury prone. And without Chris Paul, I don't know that the rest of those guys playing at the level they playing at right now is enough to sustain any finals runs. I just don't think so. I don't think so. And you're not catching anybody by surprise anymore. That's another thing. You're not catching anybody by surprise anymore. So you're getting everybody's best shot now. So, it's a lot of factors that go into that.
That's definitely fair, but actually, I'm thinking you was actually maybe even a year too late. I'm thinking their window was started closing last year. From what I've seen of them, I said this is not going to be sustained. The DeAndre Ayton thing, like you said, I didn't see enough of the people stepping up enough around the team to think that, oh man, that they're getting better. Or this thing is going to progress to those type of levels. I said, nah, maybe. I think this thing has maxed out. Getting to the finals ain't easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's a grind. It's a grind.
Right. So I was like, do I think they're going to go back to the finals or actually win the championship? Nah. Mm-hmm. So actually, your thing's closing. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, your thing is closing. I think you've maxed your thing out already. So what you saying, I'm just piggybacking on what the point you made that their window is closing. I think that window started closing last year.
Okay.
So that's we definitely agree on that one.
I can dig it. You got the Grizzlies pulled this thing off in overtime, man. Knicks, I'll tell you this. The Knicks do like a better team with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson looks like a guy who, can drive the car. He looks like a guy that can drive the car. So I'm impressed. I don't think it's the same old Knicks. Jalen Brunson looks like a guy that can drive the car. And if Cam Reddish can continue to play like he played tonight, I think the Knicks can get back into the playoffs. I think they can get back.
Yeah, a lot of people look at it and say, oh man, they overpaid for Jalen Brunson and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, man, you got to understand that's an upgrade. That's the going rate for what's going on.
It's the going rate.
That's it. What we doing here? You know what I'm saying? I got $100 million. If I don't give it to Rick Brunson, you want me to give it to Bismack Biyombo?
No, I'm not giving it to Bismack.
The three Plumlee brothers?
Bismack can't get my money.
Right, and this is what I'm saying. Like, so he's definitely, I say he's a good player. People say he's not worth his money. He's worth whatever money that he can negotiate. And these teams make a whole bunch of money and have a whole lot of things going on. So they wouldn't have offered him the money if he wasn't worth it anyway. So he's an upgrade. The team looks better. Actually, like what you said about Cam Reddish, he looked a little bit better. One person I want to see that I'm a fan of on the Knicks team, and I want to start seeing him get back to the all-star caliber that he was at, is Julius Randle.
Julius was solid tonight.
Last year was a down year for him. I'm like, come on, man. I want to see you be a little bit more.
I think he came out and he came out. I think what happened was he drank his own Kool-Aid from the previous year.
Yeah.
Thought he was a little better than what he was.
I wanted him to pile on that all-star and actually level up instead of leveling out or cratering. Yeah. Not saying we're cratering, but dipping. I want to see him get back to his all-star ways, man. That's a guy that I personally like, Julius Randle. I've been liking him ever since Kentucky.
Okay. So we got the Suns and the Mavs, man, on. We got right now it's 13-12. Your thoughts on Luka Doncic, man? Your thoughts on Luka?
He's a pretty damn good player. He's a pretty damn good player.
I like him, man, because I like players that don't play off athleticism. They just good because they're fucking good. They're crafty. They understand angles. They play on angles. They play on just basketball IQ. It's not, because I got this super God-given talent. I'm jumping out the gym. I'm bigger than everybody. I'm taller than her. Nah, I'm just good at basketball.
Right.
I'm very good at basketball. And that's what I love about Luka Doncic. He's very good at basketball. And you can't really pinpoint or say that he's good because of anything other than things that he worked at and having a certain mentality about the game of basketball. I love that about Luka. Luka is a basketball player. He's not an athlete playing basketball. He's a basketball player.
I love a player that can do a lot. You know, so
Luka
Doncic is one of those players that, you know, like I love a LeBron. I love, you know, different players that can just do a lot. And even if you can't do everything well, which he can do a lot of things well, you know what I'm saying? If you can
what do they call him in baseball?
5'2".
5'2" guy. 5'2" guy.
Right. You can do everything at a pretty damn good level. And I'll take that, man. You know, and when you see the team around him, that's one thing. I'm not going to say he drags the team with him, but he's definitely pulling the team forward. And I would love for Mark Cuban to, you know, I guess get lucky enough or get crafty enough to get a little bit more around him, because you maxing him out at an early age. He's doing so many things, rebounding, scoring, passing.
I think it can happen. Because Dallas could be a place where that attracts free agents. I think, and plus he's a guy that that free agents would want to play with, because it's not like he's a ball hog. He's a great distributor. So I think it can happen. Right. I think definitely you can get some talent around him.
What you think has been the problem? They haven't been able to put enough around them.
Well, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. Not, you know, the right free agent hasn't become eligible at this particular time. But I think, you know, there's going to be somebody that goes there. Somebody, you know, some disgruntled individual. All it, you know, with the landscape of how basketball is right now, all it takes is one season for a guy to change his whole outlook on how his team is and one out. Or a guy coming up on free agency and at the right time just decide, you know what, I'm going to Dallas. It just takes timing. You know what I mean? But like, the landscape could change in a year. It could change. It could change in a year. You could have a team lose one guy and feel like, you know what, let's just blow it all up. And now all of a sudden you got a fire sale, and then you got this guy go here, this guy go here, and it changes the complexion. You know what I mean? Changes the complexity of the team. So, I mean, it's going to happen. There's going to be a pair up with him. Somebody is going there. I can almost guarantee it. It's going to happen, because Mark Cuban is a hell of an influential owner. Dallas is not a bad place to live or be at.
Sure ain't.
You already see what Luka's doing by himself. You can only think like, well, you know, I can help that.
Right.
So it's going to happen.
But
it's definitely going to happen.
To me, but that's what I'm saying. To me, I'm just like, man, yeah, you got a great young basketball player, an owner that everybody seems to like. Like, why can't they get a little bit more around Luka? I would like to see that, man, because
it's early though.
Work.
It's definitely early. What is this? What's this, Luka's fourth year? No, it's fifth year.
Yeah,
this is his fifth year we in right now.
Yeah,
Luka hasn't even entered what I like to call his prime yet. It's early, man. If this is his fifth year, it's early, because you figure he's got another 5 to 6 years of elite first team all NBA type of basketball. So, I mean, I think he has to do something soon. It's got to be within the next 2 years to get something around him, before what happens is he starts to look and say, well, damn, I can't get no pieces around me. You know, maybe I need to look elsewhere.
Right.
But he is European, so he may not have that mentality. You know what I mean? Our players are like that, but you know, the European players may not have that mentality. He might just feel like, you know what, I'm gonna win here on some Dame Dollar type time. You know, everything's good here. We kind of successful. You know, I'm not going anywhere. It just depends. You got to look at this thing now, man. And you got to look at the teams. You got to look at the players year to year. It's year to year, literally, because things change fast. It's just the nature of the game. This is the nature of the game, how it is now, because of, you know, guys, you don't have the length of contracts you used to have back in the day. You know, think about it like this. A guy like Luka Doncic gets drafted. Back in the day, man, he would have got an 8-9-year contract, 8-year contract. Mm-hmm. And he's in Dallas for 8 years with no chance of going nowhere. Now, you know, rookies signing, you know, 3-4 year deals. So the turnover is a lot faster.
Yes,
a lot faster. So, you know, it's a yearly thing to keep tabs on that. I think Mark Cuban has to, you know, it's got to be soon though. I don't think you can go another I don't think you can go another 3 years without putting a significant player around him.
Right.
I think it's either something at this trade deadline or in the off season, you got to get something around him. Coming out of next year, I don't know. Unless they keep ascending and now he gets to the Western Conference Finals and he's a game away from the finals, then I don't know. Maybe it starts to go back in the day where you got that singular superstar player, and you just put ancillary pieces around him. Not necessarily a superstar, but just pieces that fit him.
Right, all the right pieces around
all
him.
the right pieces. You put the adequate pieces around him.
More like to me like a Dirk Nowitzki type of situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm the great guy, but put all the right pieces around me. I can lead you. It looked like Luka might be in the same mode. This is definitely the same city, so Mark Cuban may be seeing it the same way.
Yeah.
Just put all the right,
I got
like 10, 11 guys, everybody solid with Luka leading you. I can see that.
Maybe the Dallas way. You know what I mean? It might be the Dallas way.
I can see that working. They were like,
I did it before.
Exactly. We
might
want to go down this road, just start getting pieces here and there. And maybe that's what they may be doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I would assume they've tried to track the best talent that they could, for whatever reason or another, they haven't come. They've had, I ain't gonna say they struck out, but things could have went a little bit better with Porzingis. So I know he was, Cuban was swinging for the fences. It's just, things just wasn't, guys just was picking somewhere else or staying home where they was at and, choosing something else other than Dallas. So I will and to me, a lot of guys didn't shake free anyway. It was, look, you trading me here because I'm not showing up and, those type of things. It was a little bit more specific. It wasn't a lot of, significant free agents out there that, Cuban could really even grasp at. The trade market was a little light, unless you had a lot of assets, which I don't think they had. They actually gave up on Jalen Brunson, so I want to see Cuban, if some players can shake free, grab some of them to be, put around Luka. But like you said, he's got some time, but he ain't got very much more time.
Well, like I said, man, a guy can get disgruntled real fast. Real fast. And I'll say this. This era is known for the splash trade. I mean, maybe it doesn't necessarily have to be a splash trade. Just a pickup, a significant pickup. And I think they thought they had it with Porzingis, but, Porzingis's health issues prevented that. So I think that threw a big monkey wrench into all of that. So, they kind of back to the drawing board because he actually on paper looked like the perfect fit.
He looked like the perfect
fit on paper, but
game, like I always say, man, games ain't played on paper.
They're not played on paper, man. They played on hardwood. They're played on hardwood. They're not played on paper.
Yeah,
they are played on the hardwood, man.
Yes, they are.
So, are you excited about this season, man? As far as this basketball season, man, like. I know you're a big Sixers fan, man. Where do you realistically think that, y'all could do? And is this Joel Embiid's MVP year?
It could be. It probably should be if my predictions come out to be true. I think that Joel Embiid, even if you're not the MVP, I know he's played at MVP level. I can't ask any more than that. I don't see anytime soon his play dropping off. So I think he'll be an MVP caliber, MVP candidate for the next couple years, barring any type of injury or missed time for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the recommitment of a James Harden, last night he had,
he got the 35 piece.
Yeah, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Mm-hmm.
That can I expect that every night? That'd be nice. That'd be a little bit.
It's not likely, but it's not impossible, but not likely.
Right,
it's not likely, but it's not impossible.
that might be an exception of my expectations. Like, oh, that
Right.
might be exceed. One person I'm really looking at that I think is going to be a really critical sign to how far the Sixers can go, and that's the young Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah. I think all eyes on Tyrese Maxey, man. I think because people expect so much out of him right now because he's shown enough glimpses to say, hey, that could be consistent. You know, that should be consistent. So I think realistically, I it wouldn't shock me if the kid averaged 22 points, something like that, 22 in that offense, you know, with the guy like Hard who's looking to now be more of a distributor. Well, if he played anything like last year. Now, if you get the super ISO Harden, then that's different. You know, then of course now, you know, it may not be as conducive to the team if he goes to the ISO Harden and try to get his numbers. But I think if we're talking piggybacking off of last year and it goes more chalk like last year, yeah, I can see Tyrese Maxey at 20 something a game, between that 20 to 23 a game. He has the ability to do that. I'd actually be shocked if he didn't do that.
Now that's what the Sixers are my team. Tyrese Maxey is a guy of mine. But you know me, I am a person of more of the ilk. I have to see it before I can grant it. Now, like you said, I've seen enough glimpses and flashes of Tyrese Maxey. Like I said, he's a favorite of mine. But before I can crown him, not saying anybody's crowned him of anything, but I'm really placing a thumbtack on Tyrese Maxey because I really would like to see him get to at least 20 points. That's not as easy as it seems or sounds. I think he can do it. Will he do it? 50-50 chance right now, and I like the guy. I really, really like the guy. But before I go out and say that he can have this or he's going to do this, I have to see just a little tad bit more before I bestow him of, oh, yeah, that's it. Because I already think he's a guy, but I want to say, yeah, he's a guy. Because last year, he was one of the more improved, I would probably say top 5 most improved players, you know, in the league, you know, so I'm fine with that. So with that kind of jump, I'm like, man, right now I'm looking at you should be all-star consideration.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying you will be all-star consideration, but the jump and my expectation in the Tyrese Maxey in your arc or you know, look like your progression, you should at least be all-star consideration. When they come down, like if there's a snub, oh man, we think Tyrese Maxey, you know, when he got snubbed because he was young, and when they put Bradley Beal in or something like that, you know, so you got to be in those conversations and considerations for me to
well, this is a shocker right here. The Jazz beating the shit out of the Nuggets right now.
Wow, is that right? Busy, what you doing? It's time to get busy. Let's get busy.
They up 15 on the now that because by everybody's own thought process, Utah was supposedly tanking. They had a fire sale, but apparently I don't know. It's the first game. It's early, man. It's very early, so we'll see. But to look up and see that, I said, wow, okay, didn't expect that.
Right,
that's a shocker.
Ooh, holy! Did you see your boy? Oh my God, that just flashed across my screen. Paolo Banchero, he just buffed it on the Joker.
He looks like a fucking 6-7 year veteran already. It's crazy, man. He just looks gifted, man. You know.
How tall is he?
6'10".
Okay, I was gonna say for some reason I thought he might have been like 6'7", 6'8". I was like, he looked big there.
6'10".
Okay, all right. I didn't think 6'10". Okay, got you.
No, they built a little different, man. That's God said, hey man, let's have some fun with these kids, man. And we're gonna give you this. You know what I mean? And we get Paolo dude 6'10" like that with the handle, you know what I mean, moving like he's like a small forward type. You know what I mean? It's weird, man. these kids are gifted, man. They're ridiculously physically gifted. And he actually has the skill set, you know what I mean, of a much smaller player. So, you know, he's one that I mean, I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year hands down just by sheer production. They may not be good. Banchero's Rookie of the Year just from sheer production, I think. Just from a production standpoint.
I think I want to check on my guy, Cade Cunningham, because they actually played against Orlando and Paolo Banchero. You know, so like, let me check on the stats because the Pistons, they pulled it out.
Pistons pulled it out?
Yeah, Pistons pulled it out 113-109. So 35 minutes, 18 points, 6 for 16, 10 assists, 1 rebound.
What Paolo do? Give me some numbers on Paolo.
Tonight, Paolo Banchero, 27 points. 9 rebounds. 5 assists.
Off to a good start.
Yeah, that's good. So I would definitely say he outplayed Cade Cunningham.
Well, I mean, you know, it's Cade. Cade got a different responsibility. You know, this Cade second year, they got some pieces there. Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, you know what I mean? The Villanova kid, Sadiq Bey. They got some pieces in Detroit that they can build on, man.
Matter of fact, that's an interesting box score. Let me look that up. That's an interesting box score because there's also
Let's dig a little deeper into the box score.
Because it's also a person on Orlando that I have almost no faith in, and that's Jalen Suggs. I'm like, really? Man, he actually plays basketball like a Midwestern quarterback. You know,
not a Jalen Suggs guy at all.
Nah, I'm not a Jalen Suggs guy at all.
I'm gonna take a quick break, man. I gotta take a quick break. Give me a second, bro. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back.
All right.
Hold on. I'll be right back. Entertain the people, bro.
Well, how are y'all, man? This is the best.
Rattle off some of them scores, bro. Rattle off some of them scores.
Man, shit. Let me see. I want to see what the young boy from Delaware did, Jalen Duren. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I got to see this box score from Orlando and the Pistons. It's a lot of interesting people in this game. A lot of interesting players. A lot of Bo. You keep popping up on rosters. I hope you can start getting in some games, bro. I hope you can start getting in some games, Paolo. Bo. So, damn it, man. Jalen Suggs, you had 21 points, 3 assists. Paolo had the ball in his hands a lot. Franz Wagner had 20. Wendell Carter Jr. sighting. He had a double-double at 11 and 11. I guess the Brotherhood tried to show up tonight. Wendell Carter Jr. We had a Wendell Carter Jr. sighting. He got a double-double tonight, 11 and 11 for the Orlando.
Yeah.
Bo got into the game. He actually played a bunch of he got 10 points tonight, 6 boards.
No, listen. You know what, man? That lineup is weird, yo. They got some like freaks of nature on that team. Mo Bamba on that team. You got Bo. They got a team they could put on the floor with literally all 5 guys. I mean, of course, that'd be tough in the league because literally none of them are point guard. But think about this though. You got Mo Bamba, Bo, Wendell Carter, Paolo Banchero, and I think is it Franz all 6'10"
Franz
or
Wagner.
better. All 6'10" or better.
Yeah.
And they all can play. They all can play.
Well, truth be told, that's where it's going anyway, man. Everybody's going to be, in a second, everybody's going to be 6'10" or above. Everybody's going to, I ain't going to say everybody's going to be able to handle, but every point guard is going to be 6'6", 6'7", 6. I mean, they're already 6'6", 6'7". You know what I'm saying? Every point guard is going to be like 6'10", 6'11". That's just where it's going. Now, let me give you some. I wanted to look at the Pistons stats in this game too. You know what I'm saying? Because they pulled it
Read
out.
them all. I want to know how the young fella did. Jalen Duran.
Jalen Duran had a double-double.
Okay, let's go, young fella.
14.10 boards.
Okay, that's big.
Already told you, Cade Cunningham had 18 points, 10 assists. Jalen Ivey, 19 points, 4 assists, 3 boards.
Nice.
Isaiah Stewart, 14 points, 5 boards.
Now, if he can keep that up, that's huge. If he can keep some, 13 to 14, that's big. If he can do that.
Killian Hayes, 3 points, 5 assists,
That's
5
not
boards.
That's
Bojan
not
Bogdanovic, speaking about old faces in new places. Bojan Bogdanovic, 24.5 boards.
Right.
So
let's go Bogo.
Yeah,
Let's go Bogo.
Yeah, so I ain't mad at that, man.
What about Sadiq Bey? How does Sadiq Bey do?
That was very telling as well. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists.
That's shocking. Wow.
Pedestrian.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Pedestrian. So
okay. Next game. Who we got? Give me some more action. Man, Dallas Mavericks putting it to the Suns, man. 42-26 in Phoenix. Spencer Dinwiddie coming down, man, throwing up lasers, man, from 35 feet.
Always been
like Spencer Dinwiddie, man.
I was great. Say the same thing, man. There was a time when they was actually talking about Spencer Dinwiddie coming to the Sixers, and I was like, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. That was the time when we had that Benjamin guy, so I was like, I wouldn't mind him coming, man, so let's see here. Ooh. We have a blowout in San Antonio. The Charlotte Hornets put the smash on San Antonio, 129 to 102. Oh my stars.
What we got next? Give me the next box score.
I want to say something that I've kind of grown to believe. Great coaches aren't so damn great without all-time players. Greg Popovich ain't shit without David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. But let the record reflect. Phil Jackson wasn't shit without Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. I'll put a lot more onus on the players because these coaches, they get deified and all this shit. And, Greg Popovich is the greatest coach in the game. These guys suck. They fucking suck. They suck. The players, you need some fucking players. Or you need better fucking coaching, man. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh, Minnesota Timberwolves over the Oklahoma City Thunder, 115-108. I wish the Sixers could have got their hands on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man. 32.6 assists, 5 boards. Damn, I wish we could have got our hands on Shai. The Atlanta Hawks, they knock off the Rockets. You were talking about your boy Jalen Smith, for the Rockets. He had 17. Kevin Porter Jr. had 21, 7 and 7. That's the guy out in Houston. That's the guy out in Houston is Kevin Porter Jr.
Well,
Kevin Porter Jr.
I'm gonna say this. Kevin Porter Jr. thinks he's better than what he is. I think he doesn't have nowhere near the ceiling that Jalen Green and Jabari Smith has. So if he don't get in our way, we'll be fine. Kevin Porter Jr. thinks that he's an all-star, like he's an all-star caliber player. Talented, yes, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to be an all-star caliber player. Jalen Green has a little superstar potential in him. Jabari Smith has some superstar potential in him, not like megastar, but a guy that's extremely talented and with those numbers, like a Marcus Aldridge type, where he's going to put up numbers to get in the All-Star game. Well, give me the box scores from that game. How tell me about that game, bro.
Well,
because I saw we took a L. I saw we lost to
the Hawks.
The Hawks, yeah.
Kenyon Martin Jr. 6 points, 5
Okay.
boards.
Not enough shots to go around for him.
Jalen Green, 16 points, 5 boards.
Okay. Need a little bit more. I need you to be up in that 24-25 range.
Jabari Smith Jr., 17 points, 7 boards.
Decent start for you. Decent start. Good start. What about Alperen Sengun?
I was great. I 15 points, 9 boards.
Okay.
I was going to say Sinjin.
Alperen Sengun.
Oh, yeah, what bro said. What bro said. He's got 2 funny letters in his name, man. Like you got markings and 2 letters in your name, like you from a different place, man.
Like what the hell is going on with that, bro?
Yeah, man. Let me see what the Hawks did on their side, though.
What the Mad Bomber do?
Trae Young had 23 points, 13 assists.
That's a good game, man. He gets busy. Trae Young gets busy, man.
Oh, hold on now. What kind of hold, man? What they got going on in this backcourt? Now, I just told you Trae Young had 23 points, 13 assists.
Mm-hmm.
His newly acquired backcourt mate, old faces in new places, Dejounte Murray had 20 points, 11 assists.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. You getting 20 plus assists from your backcourt and major production for wow, that's different.
DeAndre Hunter, 22 points.
Okay. He got to make the next jump.
One of my personal favorites in the league, Action John Collins, coming back off of injury. 24 points.
Well, there you go. Well, that's why they won. You ain't got to say no more. We know why they won that game. All their guys delivered.
Yes.
Yeah, all their guys delivered big time.
I would just say any other honorable mentions. Clint Capella, we ain't need much from you tonight. Get your 2 points, get your 2 points, 8 rebounds, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Give me some rim protection, some alter shots. You know what I mean? We don't need much from you, man.
Right.
If that four giving you that kind of production all year, they're gonna be a problem. And if they getting that kind of production from them 4 all year, they're gonna be a problem.
And I can't pronounce his name, but Akungangwu. Yeah, him.
Akungangwu? Okay.
He had 13 and 9 for him.
Wow. Yeah, they getting some good production, man.
Yeah, man.
There's some good production. Chris Paul just came in the game.
What they just got from their guys they're supposed to get it from.
Absolutely. Everybody delivered. That's big. You getting double digit assists from your backcourt. That's big. That means not only are they setting the table, man, they running that thing.
This is an interesting box score that just came across.
Who's that?
The New Orleans Pelicans, 130. The Brooklyn Nets, 108.
Ooh, 130?
At home. They ate it at home, dog.
Read that box score off. Let's see. Let's go to the victors first. Read that box score off. That sound titillating. Good Lord, 130?
130. You got Brandon Ingram, BI, with 28.7 boards, 5 assists. The man that I said we always looking for, Zion Williamson, 25 points, 9 boards, 3 assists. CJ McCollum, the steady veteran leadership, 21 points, 6 assists, 4 boards. Giannis Valanciunas with the double-double, 15 and 13.
It's too much, man.
My nigga Herb Jones.
What up, Herb? What up, Herb?
6 points, 4 boards, 3 assists.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get much. What Herb gonna do is Herb might get 6, but he ain't giving up no more than that. Herb is the new pest.
I'm not Murphy the third. Who was the
I don't know who that is. I'm not sure who that is.
He had
not off the top of my head.
Trey Murphy the third. Trey Murphy the third.
Okay.
Trey Murphy the third. He had 16 and 9. Wow.
Dangerous, man. That team is dangerous. That team is dangerous.
Wow, that was.
So let's go to the other side of the ball.
All righty. Well, let's start at the top with Kevin Durant, 32 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. Kyrie Irving, 15 points, 5 assists.
He'll bounce back. He always bounce back off a performance like that.
Royce O'Neal, 10 points, 7 boards.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you should do. Nick Claxton, 13 points, 10 boards.
Now, no Joe Harris or Seth Curry, right?
No Joe Harris, no Seth Curry.
What did Cam Thomas do? I'm curious about Cam.
2 points, 1 assist.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of offensive potential there, but 2 points tells me, man, not to bring his name up again.
Patty Mills, 16 points, 1 assist.
Okay.
There was one name I was waiting to just get to, and afterwards.
Of course. I
wanted to stop here.
Let's not stand on ceremony.
Benjamin Simmons,
the Aussie sensation.
5 boards, 5 assists.
That's even worse production than I expected. Yeah, that's worse production than I expected.
Man, these people, man, I don't like to talk about nobody all crazy, man, because you're an NBA athlete. But, man, you're not going to tell me that y'all are saying, yeah, we want Ben Simmons on our team. He's an all-star, and this is what the hell you get. 4 whole fucking points. I'm pretty sure he was running more fast breaks in Philly, you know what I'm saying, to make more than fucking 4 points. I wonder if they hacked the Shaq and whatever. I wonder if they hacked the Shaq.
Probably not. You probably look, because from what I was seeing, that score was kind of like out of hand in the first half. Like they were down by 18 and they fought back to be down by 8 at the half. So he probably shut it down once they went down by 18. Knowing him, he probably shut it down and said, "Well, it's over." He went into 100% distribute mode. I'm gonna just keep running up and down the court and shit and giving it up to other guys. Like I already know what happened there.
So
I already know what happened there.
What makes people think like, yeah, that's great? A guy in the court that all he does is pass. Like what makes people think he's great? I'm like, don't you think I would be great if I played with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and all I had to do was fucking pass them the ball?
Yeah, well, I mean, they made it relatively easy for him because literally you have 2 guys that when everything breaks down, they can go get it. Like this should be easy for you. But hey, man, Let's go to another box score, bro. Let's go to another box score. Bro.
That was that was a whew.
There go the Pelicans. There go my Pelicans. I'm telling you.
Hells.
Telling you.
This is an interesting game, I guess. The Raptors 108, Cleveland Cavaliers 105. Yeah,
I'm curious. What did the Raptors' young budding star, what's my man name? What did he do?
15.7 assists, 3 boards.
Solid. A little less than what I expected, considering the game was tight. So who
Anunoby, 18.7 boards, 5 assists.
Okay.
My man Spicy P, Pascal Siakam.
Spicy P.
23 points, 11 boards.
Okay, do your thing, Spicy P.
Personal favorite of mine. He's always been in the Fresh Fire fan club. Fred VanVleet, 15 points, 5 assists.
Okay. Gary
Trent Jr., 19 points, 5 boards.
Gary Trent gonna shoot the lights out. Duke in the NBA. Let's get it. Let's get a young Gary Trent. Let's get it.
Precious Ochoa. I know I fucked
Achua.
it up.
Precious Achua. You had it right. You got it.
10 points, 5 boards for the winning.
They got high hopes for Precious, man. Like at some point they hoping he breaks out. I don't know how long they're gonna wait for it because it ain't happened yet. So they waiting for him to break out. They got a lot of high hopes for Precious. So just a tidbit, bro, before you keep going. Dallas is up by 20 against Phoenix and Phoenix. Proceed.
I'm looking at it, man. That game is watching me, man. I'm not reverting my eyes to that nonsense anymore, man. They came in, smashing them up again. Do they have their lunches? Like, nah, we have your whole meal menu plan, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't eat around Dallas at all. You know what I'm saying? You don't eat at all. No breakfast, no lunch, no dinner. No.
Nah, nothing.
Water,
nothing.
No.
Nothing. No snacks, no nothing.
No nothing.
I want your high C. I want your fruit snacks. I want all that.
You don't eat nothing. You don't taste nothing. You don't drink nothing. You do nothing. Sad, man. Sad, man.
Terrible matchup for the Suns. This is a terrible matchup for the Suns, bro. Read that box score off, bro. With the other side, the Cavs. What did the who stood out for the Cavs?
Donovan Mitchell had 31-9.
Okay, Donovan Mitchell doing Donovan Mitchell things.
Cedi Osman was 17.
Oh, that came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere.
14-6.
I want to see more, Evan. Second year too. I want to see you around 19 to 22 a game, Evan. I want to see more.
Jared Allen, 13 points, 10 boards.
That's the Jared Allen game.
I was going to say that sounds about right.
Yeah, that's Jared Allen. That's a Jared Allen game right there.
Karis LeVert, 10.7 assists.
I'm shocked. Now, Karis LeVert is a guy that can get going. So, but then again, when you add a Donovan Mitchell and then you already have my man. The point guard. What's his name? I forget his name. What's the point guard?
Darius Garland.
Darius Garland. You know, it's not going to be much to go around for Karis. He's got to get his.
I think that's where the crux of this game is at with the young Darius Garland.
He threw up a stinker.
I'm not sure if he got hurt, but that man showed up and gave 4 points, 3 assists.
That's no good.
That's a
stinker. No, that's no good. In a 3-point game, they won by 3, right? The Raptors only won by 3. Wow.
In a 3-point game.
Well, yeah, that's somebody else. Somebody else had to do some damage for the Cavs. Who else? Look down that box score. Somebody else because that don't seem like 105 points.
Kevin Love gave you 8.
I'm sorry. Who?
Yeah, we got a Kevin Love sighting.
We got a Kevin Love sighting. Wow.
He's still around. I'm still around here in these Cleveland streets.
Collecting checks. You know what I mean?
Casting checks. I mean, that it was spread out like Evan Mobley 14, Jared Allen 13,
okay.
10, Cedi Allen 17. You know, you had the big 31 from Donovan Mitchell. It
Okay.
is only 105
Now, where was that game? Where was that game?
in Toronto.
Okay. All right. So that's a good fight on the road. Toronto's a tough place to play.
Yes, it is.
Toronto's a very tough place to play. So do we got who else we got on the docket? We got any more completed games?
Oh yeah. Chicago Bulls 116, Miami Heat 108.
Ah, good win for the Bulls. Because everybody loves Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's dive into that box score.
Yeah, well, they got a heavy dose of that DeMar DeRozan tonight.
What do you do, man? I'm gonna go ahead and say between 28 to 35 for DeMar.
And you're wrong. He actually got 37 tonight.
Oh wow.
37, 9, and 6. On
Straight
the
out
road,
of
even.
DeMar DeRozan, straight out of the 1980s superstar playbook. He is a cutout from 1980.
Come get these beans, deuce at a time.
Deuce at a time. Pivot, spin, move, bank shot, mid-range at a time.
Nick Vucevic had 15.17 boards.
That is a balanced squad. No Lonzo Ball, right? Of course, he's still on the trainer's table, right?
Yeah, trainer's table.
Okay.
DeSamu, I know I fucked that up, but
it's I know the young boy from Illinois, man.
Illinois, yeah. He's
fucking good.
17, 6 boards, 4 assists.
Ayo. What did he have?
17.6 boards, 4 assists.
Okay. What about Zach LaVine?
Is he hurt? I don't see anything. He must be hurt. He's not in the box score.
Well, that's even more impressive, man. To get that 37 from DeMar, they needed all that. He carried that. Good job, DeMar.
I'm looking at. He's not in the box score. He didn't play tonight.
Good job, DeMar. That might be player of the night candidate.
Kobe White chipped in with 10. Goran Dragic 12. Andre Drummond and Penguin chipped in with 9.
Okay. Look specifically at that column we talked about, that 3-point column. Did he sink any trade balls?
Oh man, let me see. Let me go hit the rock. Let me see what he did. Let's see,
man. Let's see. I want to keep a special eye on that. I want to keep a close eye on that.
I saw that.
Did he shoot? Did he shoot a 3? Did he shoot a 3? Well, if he shot, where's it at? He only went 2 for 7 from the field.
Okay.
You know what? Hold on. I don't see any foul shots. So 2 for 7. 6.
Man, they are putting it on Phoenix. It's like a free for all at the rim, man.
I can't. Hold on. I can't get it.
Okay. We'll keep a close eye on that.
But he did have 9 points and he shot 2 for 7 from the field, which leading me to believe that he actually made 1, if not 2, 3-point fouls. I mean, 3 shots.
And I would have a hard time believing he made multiple free throws.
That's exactly where I was going with it. I was like, well, hold on, this guy went 7 for 7 from the line. Nah. I was like, I could see him going 2 for 2 from the 3-point land. But not 7 for, you know what I'm saying? You know,
he ain't making a lot of free throws, man. He's a terrible free throw shooter.
We was thinking the exact same way.
So who else? What? Let's dive into the losing team a little bit.
Okay, well, you got Jimmy Butler at 24 points and 8 boards.
That's Jimmy Butler doing Jimmy Butler things.
Tyler Hero, 23 points, 6 rebounds.
Okay. New money.
Max Strus, 22 points, 7 rebounds. Dwayne Dedman, 11 points, chipped in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bam Adebayo only gave you 12 and 9.
Because to be honest with you, Bam Adebayo is offensively challenged a little bit. Like, I don't expect more than unless they get up and down the court, man, and he gets a lot of breakaway, opportunities at the rim. I don't expect more than that. I think offensively that's about as much that he could generate. That 14 to 15 point range. I don't expect more than that out of him. What you're getting out of him is things that aren't going to show up in the box score. Altered shots, defensive versatility in terms of switching, being able to guard guys and disrupt guys on the perimeter, and then being able to disrupt guys at the rim. You're not going to really see a lot of that in the box score. That's not his value's not in the box score.
I heard that. It's not. But I also was looking at Kyle Lowry. 2 points.
Yeah.
5 rebounds. 4 assists.
I don't know who's stealing more money, him or Udonis.
I'm not sure if Udonis is stealing. He's got a very defined role on the team.
Udonis Haslem is the Miami Heat culture at this point.
Exactly. He has a very defined
He is
role
the Miami Heat culture at this point.
Kyle Lowry has expectations to his game. He has expectations to his role. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to bring a little bit more to the table than that.
I don't know who's expecting it. I ain't expecting it. You expecting it? Because I stopped expecting anything out of
I need a little bit more than 2 points.
Nah, that's about, to me, I'm shocked if he goes in double digits at this point, man. That's just how I feel about Kyle Lowry.
I need close to double digits. I need 6 to 10 points a night. I need you around 6 to 10 assists a night, rebounds, whatever you get.
Go down that box score a little bit more. Give me some more off that box score. What did the other shooter do? What did the other shooter do?
Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
5 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. That's what I'm saying. Dwayne Dedmon, he cracked double digits. Him, Bam, Tyler, Max Strus, and Jimmy Butler.
All right, cool. Run down the scores real quick of them closing games and give us who's still playing right now. And then we're gonna get out of here, bro.
Well, right now I still see the Trailblazers and the Kings is 45-44. The Kings is up. As you said, man, the Suns is getting their ass kicked. They get their teeth kicked in by the Dallas Mavs.
Dallas showed up to kick ass and take names, and they done took all of the names already.
Denver's making a comeback. They was getting their asses whooped, but they're making a comeback. They're only down 9 now. And checking on my guy Busy. He's got 10 as of now and 3 assists.
What about the King? What about the Clippers? Are the Clippers on the docket tonight?
I don't see them.
Clippers and Pacers.
I think they might be playing. They play tomorrow night. They set their thing off tomorrow night against the Lakers.
Oh, wow. All right, bro.
Back.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay. All right, man. Well, listen, man. It's the Fire and Ice Bulls, man. We'll be back, man, with a little bit more volume. Tune in. Basketball's every night. So, we may be in here most nights, man. So, want to just give you all some quality content tonight, man. We'll be bringing on some guests to discuss the night in basketball with us when we do go on, man. More to some unusual suspects instead of the usual suspects. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, man, it's your boy P. We got fresh fire of the Fire and Ice crew. Good night.
Good night, y'all.